Students, good morning. Welcome to social science class. In the last week, students, we have discussed First World War and Second World War. The First World War started in the year 1914, ended in the year 1918. Then Second World War, it started in the year 1939, ended in the year 1945. Okay. So at the end of the Second World War, there was a world organization established, that is UNO. UNO abbreviation, United Nations Organization. Okay, it was established in the year 1945. Okay, these are the two lessons we have discussed in the previous week. Today, we are going to learn the world after the Second World War. What is the topic today? The world after the Second World War. After the Second World War, the new era began. Okay, that is, the European colonial powers started to decline. European colonial powers, it began to decline. Then, the colonies in Asia and Africa become independent. Many colonies which was occupied by European countries, those colonies in Asia and Africa become independent when? After the Second World War. Then, in the end of the First World War, the Communist Revolution started in Russia. Communist Revolution started in Russia. Then, end of the Second World War, the Communist Revolution played a big part in China. Communist Revolution played a big part in China. So, this is a result of the First World War and Second World War. Then, after the Second World War, the world was divided into two blocks. After the Second World War, the whole world, it was divided into two blocks. One is America and second one is Russia. America is called USA and Russia is called USSR. These two blocks, that is America and Russia, become the super powerful countries. Superpowers. These two countries become superpowers. Between these two countries only, the Cold War also started. Between these two countries only, the Cold War also started. It's not, the Cold War is not like First World War and Second World War. Students, you know very well, in the First World War, number of weapons, large amount of weapons, it was used in the First World War and Second World War. But this Cold War is not like a First World War and Second World War. Without using weapons only, the Cold War started between these America and Russia. That is competitive war. Okay, without using arms or weapons, the competitive war started between America and Russia. Then, under the US control, European countries, they started European movement. Under the US control, European countries, they started European movement in the form of Council of Europe. In the form of Council of Europe. Later on, this Council of Europe became European Common Market. Later on, this Council of Europe became European Common Market. And this European Common Market only, today, it was called as the European Union. It was called as the European Union. So now, European Union only was there in Europe. All the countries together called European Union. Next, Chinese Revolution. From this Chinese Revolution, we can learn four topics. What are the four topics here? China in the pre-war period. What is the first topic? China in the pre-war period. Second topic, the Chinese Revolution in the year 1911. What is the second topic? Chinese Revolution. Third topic, Yuan Shikai and after. Yuan Shikai and after. The fourth one is Communist Party of China. So these are the four topics we are going to see or we are going to learn from the Chinese Revolution. First one, what we discussed, China in the pre-war period. In the China in the pre-war period, the Chinese Revolution was more advanced than the European Revolution. European civilization. In the China and the pre-war period topic we are discussing now. From this topic, Chinese civilization was more advanced than European civilization, but at the end of the 19th century, its progress was halted. What progress? Chinese civilization. It was halted. Then, the Manchus. Who is the Manchus here? They are the ruling dynasty. They governed the China since 1650. Here, who is the ruling dynasty? Manchus. The Manchus, they are the ruling dynasty. They ruled China since 1650. The entire administration was under the Mandarins. Who are the Mandarins? They are called as land gentry, or we can call land owners. Then, Taiping Rebellion, it also started. Okay, this is the major rebellion in the year 1850 and 1864. 1850 it started and it ended in the year 1864. It's a major rebellion. What is that major rebellion? Taiping Rebellion. Then, 2 Opium War. Opium is a drug. It is made from seed. Okay, the 2 Opium War, it was started in the year 1832, and another second Opium War, it was started in the year 1848. First Opium War 1832 and second Opium War 1848. In this 2 Opium War, China was defeated. In this 2 Opium War, China was defeated and China opened the ports to Western Pass, that is England, France, because China was defeated in the first Opium War and second Opium War. So as a result, China was forced to give the ports or forced to open the ports to Western Pass. Finally, China's economy was exploited. China's economy was exploited. So this is what about China in the pre-war period. Next, Chinese Revolution in the year 1911. We are discussing about the Chinese Revolution only, and there are 4 revolutions we said. Second one, that is Chinese Revolution, which is started in the year 1911. After the death of Empress Dowager. Who is Empress Dowager? She is a leader in China. Okay, she is a leader in China once upon a time, but she was died in the year 1908. And after her death, that is Empress Dowager's death, Manchu dynasty was disintegrated. Okay, among the Manchu dynasty there is no unity. So that's what is called a disintegrated. And there was a middle class leader whose name is called Dr. Sun Yat-sen. After the death of Empress Dowager in the year 1908, and there was a leader who was from middle class, he became the leader. What was his name? Dr. Sun Yat-sen. He arrived in Shanghai and became the president of New Chinese Republic. Who became the president of New Chinese Republic? Dr. Sun Yat-sen. So after whose death he came? After the death of Empress Dowager only. Dr. Sun Yat-sen, he became the president of New Chinese Republic. Okay. Then next third one, Yuan Shikai and after. Third point is Yuan Shikai and after. There was a unity of China. It lasted for 4 years during Yuan Shikai. During Yuan Shikai, or under the control of Yuan Shikai, there was a unity of China and it lasted for 4 years. After the death of Yuan Shikai in the year 1916, a president was appointed for next 12 years. After the death of Yuan Shikai, and under his leadership there was a unity in China for 4 years. After his death, whose death? Yuan Shikai's death, and another new president was appointed. Okay, in the year 1916, that president was appointed for next 12 years, and there was central government only in China. For namesake, there is a central government. Even though new president was appointed, what government? Central government. Where? In China. Then the fourth one is Communist Party of China. What is the fourth one? Communist Party. With the revolution, whole society was disappeared. With the revolution, whole society was disappeared. And there was a Russian Revolution. When it was started in the year 1917, Russian Revolution. So after the Russian Revolution in the year 1917, the ideas of Marx and Lenin became popular. Whose ideas? Marx and Lenin. Their ideas was become popular. Who are they? Marx and Lenin? They are intellectuals. Okay, they are intellectuals, popular. They are educators and they are scientists. We can say they are educators, highly educated people. Who are they? Marx and Lenin. They became very popular after the Russian Revolution. Then, in the year 1918, a new society for study of Marxism. A new society for study of Marxism was formed in Peking University. Where? Peking University. What is Peking? Where it is? In China. Once upon a time, it is called capital city of China. Now it is called Beijing. Okay. So, in the year 1918, new society for study of Marxism formed in the place of Peking University. So there are a number of students studied in the Peking University. One among the popular one was Mao Zedong. He became the popular student of Peking University. Who became the popular student? Mao Zedong. He became the popular student of Peking University because he studied in the Marxism Center or Society. In the year 1918, a Society for Study of Marxism was formed. So in that university only, Mao Zedong, one of the students, he became popular. Next, we are going to discuss about Kuomintang and Chiang Kai-shek. Here, Chiang Kai-shek is a leader for Kuomintang. Chiang Kai-shek is a leader for Kuomintang party. In this party, landlords and capitalists, they are included. Where? From Kuomintang. And another party called Communist Party. One is Kuomintang Party and Communist Party. From Communist Party, who are the leaders? Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai. Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai. These are the leaders. They established Communist Party. Chiang Kai, who is Chiang Kai? Is a leader of Kuomintang Party. Chiang Kai removed all the important posts and communists increased powers among the workers and peasants. In the year 1928, Chiang Kai captured Peking. Chiang Kai captured Peking. Again, there was a central government in China. Okay, Chiang Kai removed all the important posts and communist powers was increased among workers and peasants. In the year 1928, Chiang Kai captured Peking. Again, there was a central government in China. Then, we are going to discuss about Mao Zedong. He is the organizer of peasants. Mao Zedong is the organizer of peasants. He organized peasants and hundreds of communists went to wild mountains. Who organized peasants? Mao Zedong. He organized peasants and hundreds of communists went to wild mountains. And these peasants, they stayed for 7 years. Where? In the wild mountains. The peasants in the mountain itself, wild mountains itself, they stayed for 7 years. Finally, there was a threat from Japan and warlords. For whom? For peasants and Mao Zedong. So, here Mao Zedong and peasants, they were threatened by Japan and warlords. So, his powers was reduced. Whose powers? Mao Zedong. Then, Long March in the year 1934. What is Long March? As Chiang Kai-shek built fortified posts around the communists, Mao wanted to move out Hunan for safest territory. பாருங்க சாங் கை ஷேக் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா இவர் வந்து அவருடைய போஸ்ட் எல்லாமே வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணும்போது அது மாடிஃபை பண்ணும்போது மாவோ சேதுங் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா he want to move out of Hunan for safer territory. Hunan விட்டு அவர் வெளியில ஏறா இருப்பாங்க யாரு மாவோ சேஃபர் பிளேஸ்க்கு வராரு. Then by the year 1933 Mao gained full control of Chinese communists. சரிங்களா? அப்போ 1933ல மாவோக்கு வந்து சைனீஸ் கம்யூனிஸ்ட் பார்ட்டி இருக்கு இல்லையா, அவங்களுடைய ஃபுல் பவர் அவருக்கு கிடைச்சிருது. எப்போ? 1933. whom? Mao Zedong. And he organized army. About 1 lakh. He organized army about 1 lakh people. They are going for long march. When? In the year 1934. In the year 1934, army of 1 lakh set out long march. Here 20,000 people only reached. Out of 1 lakh, how many people reached? 20,000 people. Here 20,000 people only reached in the North Sinai. Crossing 6,000 miles. How many miles they are crossing? 6,000 miles. So at the end, in the year 1937, Mao Zedong become the leader over 10 million people. So finally, who became the leader? Mao Zedong. When? 1937. For how many people? Over 10 million people. So this is what about Long March of 1934.